physicist Stefan Burns here. A glacier has just collapsed onto the Swiss town
Kind of crazy. Oops.
High up in the Swiss Alps. There has been an evacuation order in place
Look
for
at
many
that.
days now. They airlifted out the cows. All the people left. Well, now the glacier has collapsed onto the town, and BLATTAN has been flattened. They were
That's
originally concerned
weird.
about the collapse of a mountain slope high above the town, but underneath that mountain slope was the Birch Glacier that also showed signs of
Good
destabilizing.
God.
And that is exactly what happened today. A huge avalanche of ice, rock, and
where
mud
did that, I mean,
slid down the slopes and now has basically covered the entire village of BLATTAN. So it's basically
Whoa.
wiped off the map.
Holy
but
moly,
the mountain
this is
slopes
getting
still have
weird,
yet to
y'all.
fully destabilize. And so this could get filled up significantly more once that occurs.
Ain't that
is looking
something?
very
You
imminent.
wouldn't
So
think Switzerland.
this is a
Just
dire
saying.
situation. Only one person reported missing. As
Thank
of right
gosh.
now, everyone was evacuated and
Look
seized
at
except perhaps
that
just one person. But a
to
tremendous amount of damage, homes
that.
lost for these people, and this is a developing story.
That's
And we have video of that
cuckoo.
collapse of the Birch Glacier right here. This glacier was supporting 9 million tons of material, and so
What kind of
a lot
material, I
that
wonder?
collapsed alongside the glacier. But
Oh.
there's still more material up there, which is now no longer supported
Oh boy.
by the slopes of that glacier.
That is
And
one
something absolutely
drop.
remarkable about this geologic event is
Tell
that
me.
that landslide, that avalanche,
A little bit too
was
perfect.
so powerful that it registered as a magnitude 3.1 earthquake.
Oh.
Of course, this wasn't
I'm all a
an
little too
earthquake, this was
perfect.
just a
Although it does look a
massive
little
amount
bit
of
too
material
perfect to me, man. I don't know what to think about weather anymore.
and destroying the town of BLATTAN, but that's how
BLATTAN
powerful it
was
and that was
flattened.
only the Birch Glacier and some of the other materials nearby.
Jesus.
The main mountain flank that is slipping at this moment in time has
Or
yet
maybe
to collapse.
Titans are getting ready to
That is
wake
much
up.
larger and much
I
more
mean,
dense, and so we could have another event
I'm just
like
saying.
that unfold, and perhaps it will register as an even stronger seismic event. Here's an animation created a few days ago highlighting the potential geologic risk from the collapse of this mountain slope there, and they correctly identified that the Birch Glacier could be something that also collapses and falls down on the town of BLATTAN, and well, that is exactly what has
Oh, well
occurred.
then.
And so there's a huge potential
Interesting
for
place to
more
make a
debris
town
to
in the first
rain
place,
down
but
into this Alpine Valley. Most of BLATTAN is
Alpine
already
Valley,
gone at
we have
this
one of those in
point, but the
Wisconsin.
remaining structures could be engulfed soon. Thankfully, everyone's evacuated, all the livestock and animals.
Wow. And it doesn't even look cold. So I'm kind of
of
confused, but what do I
And there was
know?
quite a lot of evidence that the Birch Glacier was due to collapse at any moment in the days preceding what happened today with the complete collapse of that glacier.
That's crazy
because
to
there were
me.
isolated rock falls and landslides in the glacier.
What, days
surrounding
before?
Areas, there were a lot of cracks that were visible, and there already been some significant movement of mass going from the higher slopes down to
I
the
don't know,
lower
man.
slopes. And so
How I
once
feel
you
about
create
this.
that overburden, then it doesn't take long for this structure to not be able to hold the weight up anymore. Gravity does its work and pulls it all down. So a lot of material already pulled off the mountainside, but still
Look
a lot
at
of material
that.
is supported by those structures, which have now just collapsed.
Those
And so it's looking imminent
crevasses,
that the entire
crevices.
mountainside that has been slipping will collapse. Here's a time lapse of the mountainside that's
Okay,
actively
let's see this.
destabilizing right now above the town of BLATTAN, high up in the Swiss Alps. And this time lapse was taken a few days ago, and the rate of slip has actually increased
Ugh.
since this time lapse has occurred. But
I
it's
feel
very
like,
clear
I don't
to see
know,
this massive
so many things I'm
mountainside
seeing that are not
fracturing apart
natural.
and about to
So,
completely
like,
break off the mountainside. And this is a massive amount of rock, ice,
Is it
dirt,
though?
and stone. And
Is
so
it
this will
though?
be a
I mean,
huge event when that finally
who
occurs.
knows
Again,
what
the
all's in
collapse of
there.
the Birch Glacier and a lot of that other material, that
It's
avalanche
weird, that
triggered a
shadow.
3.1 magnitude earthquake. At least that's how it registered
Interesting.
on the scale. This could be, here we have another
He said it
time
could
lapse
be
showing the active
significantly
collapse of that
larger.
mountainside. Again, this was taken a few days ago. You can see just
I don't
how
know
much it
why
was
this is
slipping.
giving me,
That rate has accelerated in the past few days. And now
what's
with
it
that
called
glacier
when
and
they
that landmass
blow up
above the
buildings,
glacier
controlled
having
demolition?
now just gone
Why does
down
it
the
feel like that to
mountainside,
me? I don't know.
This is likely to follow imminently. Now you may be thinking to yourself, how is it possible that such a gigantic portion of a mountain
Yeah,
can
I kind of
collapse
am.
so quickly?
I kind of
And while
am.
it certainly is this is a natural geologic process.
Yeah, but
We have erosion.
I
There's
don't know
different
that I
types
ever
of
heard
erosion.
about it before,
And high up in the
Stefan.
mountains, you have the freeze-thaw erosional cycle.
Freeze thaw.
And so we see with this animation here, you have this crack, and water will fill it in during the summer, let's say.
Like,
And water is more contracted than
it's
ice.
it's
and so when
powerful,
you have
that's for
water
sure.
freeze, it expands, and this will widen up the cracks and the fractures, and over time, that just really fractures the rock, makes it brittle and
I mean, we're
unstable,
only having the
and
craziest
eventually
weather
you
over
will
here,
have it
too.
fully collapse. If there's too much overburden, it'll just completely go down, and that's why you see these scree slopes at the bottom of the mountains, because of this freeze-thaw
I'm
erosional
sloppy,
cycle.
it
At
is
least
what
it's
it
active
is.
in areas where it reaches freezing temperatures and it has enough water and snow. And well, that's exactly what happens up in the Alps. And so
Oh, the
this
dreadful
is showing
wind and
effectively the
rain.
freeze-thaw erosional cycle taken up to the
I mean,
absolute
that's a new
highest
one for me,
amplitude,
for sure.
because that mountainside is massive. But this is
I feel like it's always
natural
crooked no matter
process.
what.
Things like this have happened before. Things like this will
Like, is
happen
my
in the
television
future.
crooked?
It's just unfortunate that we had
Am I
a
crooked?
village right there at the bottom of the slope, and now Blattan is gone. You
That's
can use Google Earth to
crazy.
put the collapse of the Birch Glacier